Hi all, this is Dr. Sage Breslin, and this is Wisdom Wednesdays, the special series on my journey with cancer, video 5. So I have been thinking about something for quite some time, and actually, when I say quite some time, I've had my diagnosis for about 4 years, and I've probably been thinking about this issue that long. And I kind of, shied away from talking about it, and it's still just sort of rankled around my brain. And I thought, maybe I'm finally ready to take this out from below the surface and talk about it, because I think that it's really reasonable, and I want to get your feedback. I would love it if you would, put feedback in the comments. I'd really like to know from your perspective, even if you don't know me. So what's been kind of just roaming around my head as my journey into treatment becomes closer and closer and closer is that I've always prided myself on somebody who was professional looking, on time, prompt, articulate, compassionate. I felt like I always looked and showed up a certain way. And unbeknownst to me, I had 2 autoimmune disorders that were sitting below the surface. And when my body developed cancer, the autoimmunes just shot through the roof. In fact, it was one of the ways I knew that there's something really off about me. And it was one of the reasons that I wouldn't accept no to the doctors who just kept on saying, "You're fine, you're fine, you're fine." So one of the autoimmune disorders that I've talked a little bit about before is I have vitiligo. And when I was born, I had this tiny little, what they called a fairy kiss on my collarbone. And I didn't even know that I had vitiligo until I got my cancer diagnosis. Right around the same time, I developed some loss of pigmentation around my hairline, and then a little bit on my cheek. And then, gosh, as I have gotten closer to this treatment journey, it has taken over. And then I developed a second underlying skin condition called melasma, and it has now started showing up on my face. And my first thought as a woman and as a professional woman was like, how strong a makeup can I find to sort of cover it up? But now we're getting to summer, and it's just hot, and it's to wear a heavy makeup just to cover up all these spots it becomes sort of irritating, and not just irritating physically, but irritating to cover myself, irritating to hide the fact that I've got these underlying conditions that are no longer underlying. Okay, so that all being said, I know that as I have moved forward into this journey, I have agreed to become more present and to show up as I am rather than as I perhaps want the world to see me. And part of that is today, shooting in my corporate t-shirt because I'm going to the CIF game to watch my boy play, because that's what you do when you still have kids at home. And it's having my hair in a ponytail, and it's not over wearing makeup. I have to have some to keep the sun off, but and trying to not be so concerned about who sees the spots and what they mean. But as I get nearer and nearer to this treatment journey, I realize that I still want to be a professional. I love to work. I love to give. This is the gift that God gave me, other than the kids and my life. This is the special talent, the special gift that I received. And I love using it. I love expressing it. I love sharing it with other people. But here's my question. Here's the thing that has been waking me up at night. You see all the beautiful people on LinkedIn and Facebook. You see all the coaches that are teaching from the beach and in Fiji and in their teaching in their bikinis and they look great and everything in their lives seems perfect. And I love my work. I love my clients. I love my kids. Everything in life is not perfect for me right now. I'm about to walk into a life-threatening treatment in order to get my life back. But what's that going to look like? I don't know how the first treatment protocol is going to be for me. I know that when I work, I totally plug in and pipe through God, and so I feel great when I'm working with people. I tend to get tired at the end of the day, but I want to continue doing that. I want to do that for my clients. I want to do that for my family. I want to do that for myself, frankly. But would you hire somebody who has an illness? Would you hire someone who looks less than perfect? Would you hire someone who has incredible gifts to share, but has thoughts? Okay, I'm being serious. I want to know. I have never been judgmental, and for the past 16 years, I've totally focused on living a judgment-free life. Every once in a while, lately, I've noticed myself kind of falling off the wagon, but really, I think for the most part, I don't look at a person and say, I don't know, he doesn't really look like the right kind of plumber, or he doesn't look like the right kind of lawyer, or she doesn't look like the right kind of financial advisor. Generally speaking, I'd like all of those people to be articulate enough to have a conversation with me about their areas of expertise, but those are not my areas of expertise, so I would never have any way to judge them. So I just want to know, that the people that I work with or that I hire or that I invest in have those tools and gifts and skills and can use them for my advantage, right? So I'm curious what you think. I actually really love feedback, and I'd like to allow this issue to sort of settle down for me and let myself live my life, do my work until I need to take medical leave, and then I'll focus on myself. But gosh, for the time being, I'd really like to focus on sharing my gifts because A, I love doing it. B, it's really good distraction. And if left to my own devices 24/7 to think about what's coming up in 2 months' time, I'm not sure that that will be good for me or anyone around me. So this is Wisdom Wednesdays, and I am so happy that you are sharing my cancer journey with me. And if you would be willing to make some comments in the comments below, I would love it. And I will read every single one because it's important to me. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate you being part of this journey.